Shoot me in my left arm, and I shall call the wound solidarity. Shoot me in the right arm, and I shall call the scar unity. Shoot me in the jaw, and I shall raise my voice. Shoot me in the knee, and I shall rise again. Shoot me in the hip, and I shall run faster. Shoot me in the breast, and I shall work against injustice. Shoot me in the eye, and I shall see the world clearer. Shoot me in the ear, and I shall hear the voices sing. Shoot me in the heart, and I shall yell, our love lives. This poem was written after the terrorist attack in Norway, 22nd of July 2011, by the Norwegian poet Frode Grytten. My youth engagement started with being active in the Labour Youth Party. It was an ideological awakening for me, realizing that I had opinions of my own and that I could share these opinions and get them challenged. I had been at the Utøya summer camp the previous year, but that year I was going on the international summer camp in Vienna instead. So I was at home when my uncle called me and asked me, "Are you on the island?" And I didn't understand. So I turned on the news and my world just stopped. The feeling of being afraid of your friends, not knowing if they will be okay, it was just an utter feeling of helplessness. The youth that was targeted in the terrorist attack, they were the future of the social democratic movement. And what better way to harm a movement than to take away the future? It backfired. We met hatred with love, injustice with justice, and intolerance with more openness and more democracy. In Malala's brave words, weakness, fear, and hopelessness died. Strength, power, and courage was born. In many ways, my life changed as a result of losing friends in the terrorist attack, as I know it did for a lot of Norwegian youth that day. Youth engagement for me lost its innocence. The fight became very real. And I became acutely aware of how fragile life is. And the sudden need to really live life to the fullest, intensely, came to me. The unfulfilled lives of the youth that we lost today had to somehow be fulfilled. Their dreams would be my dreams. This resulted in a very restless existence. I traveled a lot from place to place. I did volunteer work a lot. I ran away basically from thinking about it, but eventually I stopped running, and your soul gets tired. You just want to return home, both mentally and physically. And gradually I felt strong enough to live my own life, not the lives of others. And this is a message that I want to convey to you today. Living your own life truthfully takes a lot of courage. In order to live your own life, you have to look beyond others' expectations, and you have to be honest with yourself. I think this is the core of empowerment. And youth empowerment is what I'm going to talk about during this presentation. Giving the youth a voice instead of silencing them. That is an important part of my life mission. And Young Ambassadors has been one arena where I felt like my voice mattered. I felt empowered, and I also felt like I could empower others. Being a part of Young Ambassadors since the very beginning, 7 years ago, I can also see that my personal development and Young Ambassadors' development is very much the same. So during this presentation, I wish to share some of the lessons that I can derive from our work with youth empowerment. For those of you who don't know what Young Ambassadors is, it's a non-profit foundation, and it's an educational program for high school students. It's a supplement and not a replacement of education, of course. And our purpose is to help young future leaders to realize their potential for the best of society. And we do that by providing them with invaluable insights and knowledge and skills that they would not have been provided with in the ordinary educational system. We do this by arranging seminars, conferences, and each and every participant get their own mentor who is leading in their field of interest. And this mentor will follow this mentee throughout the school year and hopefully also in the future. We have an amazing alumni who really shows us what youth empowerment can lead to. Real positive changes. And here are some of them. Jacob, he got a journalist as a mentor, and he was really inspired to hold a speech on the National Day. And that speech was very important, and it was also very controversial. He described himself as an atheist, and gay, and a feminist. And this got a lot of attention and a lot of criticism actually as well. And in this speech, he emphasized the importance of inclusion and diversity. He has started his own project, World Against Prejudice, and in a series of videos and articles, he has challenged important prejudices in the Norwegian society. Alexandra, she works for Girls' Right to Education through Plan Norway. She has given a speech at the UN, and she is good friends with Malala, and they are in the same UN network. Alexandra has been a lot in the media and has discussed girls' right to education in a panel with Mr. Gordon Brown and our Foreign Minister, Børge Brende. Pamir, he gained information, skills, and networks from Young Ambassadors so that he could start his own initiative called TEDxUWCRCN. He managed to gather 200 Norwegian students in Oslo, Trondheim, and Bergen, and together they collected nearly 500,000 Norwegian kroner for educating children in Afghanistan. It is quite unique in an international context how we work to break down barriers between student life and working life and youth and authorities in the Norwegian society. The participants get to meet people that they normally maybe would just see on TV or read about in the newspapers. And through this interaction, they are suddenly made more real and approachable. We wish to be a platform where this interaction can take place. And we consider it to be mutually beneficial to bridge this gap. And we believe that the leaders of today and the leaders of tomorrow have valuable views and experiences to share with each other. Equally important is peer-to-peer education. There's great diversity amongst our participants. We're not just young, but we're also ambassadors. And therefore we wish to represent different aspects of the Norwegian society. Some of our participants are interested in sports, some in culture, some want to be engineers, some want to be scientists or politicians. In Young Ambassadors, we believe that we need diversity to be able to face new challenges in the future. The exchange of different thoughts and experiences is what will allow us to stay innovative. I think Malcolm Forbes describes diversity in a good way when he says that it is the act of thinking together independently. Young Ambassadors has developed a lot in the past 7 years. I think the most profound change can be found in our values. We started out as being very career-focused, wanting to create professional networks, and that is important as well. However, we now also focus on how to guide and support the participants on their road to finding themselves and how they can contribute to the society. We have seen positive changes in the group dynamic after this change. People relate better to each other and thrive in a less formal and more supportive environment. I mentioned in the beginning some of the Young Ambassadors' success stories. However, it is important to clarify that even though a lot of our success stories don't come in the news, it is not less important. One participant this year suggested that we should try to appreciate the people we met, the places we got to visit, and the ideas that we exchanged. She challenged the way we tend to view people as means to an end. My advice is to be genuine in everything that you do. Act because you believe in a cause, not because it looks good on a resume. I think we can all conclude that when the motivation is not right, it easily shines through. In Young Ambassadors, we have recently introduced a concept called Dismantle Your Vanity. And asking ourselves, why do we do the things that we do? Is it because we want to have a good resume, or do we actually, care? I would also like you to reflect a bit about if you can live up to the expectations that you raise in others. Where I went to high school, I find it difficult to live up to the expectations that I created for myself. My mom would say, just be yourself, everybody else is taken. It's easily said, but more difficult to act upon. However, I found that the key for me was to be honest, dismantle my vanity. Once I started to be honest with myself and with others about my feelings, my strengths, my weaknesses, I gradually felt that I became, wait for it, flaw-tastic. Kind of like, this guy here. Dare to be a bit crazy, dare to be a bit weird. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes this bunch unique. Then you can make real change. Then you are empowered. When your heart and mind goes together, then you're empowered. I am honored to be invited to speak to you today about youth empowerment and to share some of our experiences in the Young Ambassadors Foundation. It is truly inspiring to know that there are so many nationalities represented here in this room. A quote from Mahatma Gandhi comes to mind. Our ability to reach unity in diversity will be the beauty and the test of our civilization. The United World College is a living proof that young people from different cultures and nationalities can live together in harmony and thrive. And here tonight, we are all united in our belief that a quality education and youth empowerment is the key to peace and a sustainable future. Thank you so much for your attention.